Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Dhyana ji.
Morning.
Welcome to today's session. The topic of today's session is aligning self with will with divine will. And after Dhyana ji leads us into a prayer, then we will listen to a song, O Master. And it has nice visuals as well, of a lot of photos of Master. And then we'll listen to a talk on this topic by Swamiji. Before that, we will have a prayer that Dhyana ji will lead us into. Welcome, everyone.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Dhyana ji.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Let's offer a prayer together. Divine Mother, Heavenly Father, friend, beloved God, great gurus, Jesus Christ, Babaji Krishna, Lahiri Mahashaya, Swami Shri Yukteswarji, beloved Master, Paramahansa Yoganandaji, saints of all religions, we bow at thy feet and we ask thy blessings on this class today. Be with us. Help us to uplift our consciousness and be in ever greater attunement with thee. Om Shanti Shanti.
Master, may thy joy fill our days. O Master, may thy wisdom guide our ways. The time has come for us to see that there's but one reality upon the earth and high above, the truth that all was made from love. A love that calls to us to fly above the hills, above the sky, above the storms, above the pain, a land where peace and laughter reign. O Master, may thy joy fill our days. O Master, may thy wisdom guide our ways. Guide all our hopes and all our dreams, past every glow that only seems, into the light, the inner sun, into the truth that we're all one. Help us to find in every hour, in every thought, in every flower, the joy that spans eternity, the truth that makes us ever free. O Master, may thy joy fill our days. O Master, may thy wisdom guide our way.
And if you want to seek God, then you must be obedient. You can't just say, I will choose my own way. I remember when I came to my guru, he asked me to give him my unconditional obedience. Well, nobody ever asked that of me. Nobody ever asked me obedience. In fact, I was a bit of a rebel. But I had faith in him. Reading his autobiography of a yogi, I just knew this man has what I want. And so, still, I was desperate to be accepted as a disciple. There was nothing else in the world that I wanted. And yet I had to be honest. So I said, but sir, if I think you're wrong sometime, how can I give you my obedience? He said, I will never ask of you anything that God doesn't tell me to ask you. I said, in that case, yes, I give you my unconditional obedience. And I lived by that. I did my best to always submit my will to his guidance. And I found something marvelous came of it. You know, there was one disciple who told me, well, I don't believe I should be just completely obedient to him because I have to develop my own will. Otherwise, I will become weak-willed. Now, I mentioned this to Master, just not as a snoop or reporter or anything, just to ask what his opinion would be on a statement like that. And he said, but he's not free. He's following his own whims and fancies. You find freedom when you do God's will. Then he mentioned his most advanced woman disciple, Sister Gyanamata. And he says that some people said to her once, why are you always doing his will? You have your own will. You should do your own, go your own way. And that's the way to become strong. And she said, well, she was an old woman. She said, don't you think it's a little late to change? She said, but I also have to say that I have never been so happy as I have been since following his will. You see, when you follow the Guru's will, it's not like following another person. To follow the will of an unenlightened person is altogether different. That can be weakening to the will. But to follow the will of somebody of wisdom, that's different from monastic obedience. That kind of obedience is going against your desires in order to make your soul transcendent, your inner freedom transcendent. What I found was that the more I attuned my will with his will, the more I could do just what I wanted to in my deeper sense, rather than following my whims and fancies, as I said. I found such a sense of freedom. You see, free will is not doing what you want. It's being able to do what is right for your own happiness. This kind of freedom comes from surrendering the ego and realizing that you aren't the ego. You are that infinite self.
Good morning again, friends. I'd like to start with reading from Autobiography of a Yogi. After Master's come back from his trip to the Himalayas, and he's coming back to his guru after some months. You have come. Sri Yukteswar greeted me from a tiger skin on the floor of a balconied sitting room. His voice was cold, his manner unemotional. Yes, dear master, I'm here to follow you. Kneeling, I touched his feet. How can that be? You ignore my wishes? No longer, Guruji. Your wish shall be my law. That is better. Now I can assume responsibility for your life. I willingly transfer the burden, Master. Whether Master and I are surrounded by his students or by strangers, or we're alone together, he always spoke plainly and upbraided sharply. This flattening treatment was hard to endure, but my resolve was to allow Swami Sri Yukteswar to iron out each of my psychological kinks. As he labored on this titanic transformation, I shook many times under the weight of his disciplinary hammer. If you don't like my words, you're at liberty to leave at any time. Master assured me, I want nothing from you but your own improvement. Stay only if you feel benefited. For every humbling blow he dealt my vanity, for every tooth in my metaphorical jaw he knocked loose with stunning aim, I am grateful beyond any facility of expression. This is a wonderful passage and a vitally important topic because people think they're free. I have my own desires. I have my own freedom. I have my own mind. I have my own consciousness. I want to do what I want to do. And I know what that means. I went through that myself. But the question is, are you really free after all that in the direction that you go in? Is it leading to freedom? Is it leading to more karma? Is it leading to more desires? Is it leading to more attachments? Are you really free inside? And as Swami Sri Yukteswarji said to Master, when Master asked, he told him, allow me to discipline you. And he said, why, sir? And he said, because I will guide you in a divine way. And you are guided by whims and fancies. And for most people, they're guided by, I like this, I don't like this, I want to go here, I want to do this, I want to do my own thing, don't tell me what to do. And so what we're talking about today is getting free from attachments, karma, blockages, desires. And how do we get free? When who's going to help us to get free is the guru. The guru is already free. Master said, I killed Yogananda long ago. No one dwells in this temple now but God. He guides us through the will of God, not will of fancies and whatever desires people want. And one time someone asked Master, said rather, when I see you, I just see Divine Mother. And Master had his cane, he tapped him and he said, well, behave accordingly. And I think that's something we all have to think about. Behave accordingly. Instead of throwing a tantrum because you can't get what you want or not listening or whatever it is. And Swamiji said that he himself was eaten up by doubts. Even when living with Master, he thought, well, he couldn't be right about this. Well, that's not right. And most people many people rather, came and left because their pulls, their desires were pulling them away from the guru, from truth. And so when we go into this topic, we have to think that who really can guide us out of the labyrinth of delusion? Who really can guide us? And people think they can guide themselves, it can be their own guru. Well, that leads to a lot of delusion and suffering. People think maybe their family can lead them. Can your family really lead you spiritually? People may think a psychic can lead them or an astrologer can lead them. We have good astrologers in Ananda, but can any of them really lead you out of delusion? And this is the point that we're talking about. Only one who is free can lead you out of delusion. And I was remembering my family was never very unhappy about me leaving. I mean, I think for 12 years, they were so upset that I left. I left college. I went to Ananda. I went to live in this strange place up in the mountains. And they just said, you're throwing your life away. But did I throw my life away? Obviously, I didn't. I remember Swamiji was saying that his father wanted him to be a geologist. Now just think if Swamiji had become a geologist. Of course, that wasn't what he was supposed to be. And then when I got to Ananda, I realized how important it was to listen. Listen to the guru inwardly. Listen to the guru bhais who had been there longer than me. Listen to the teachers. Listen to the advisors. And really try to tune in to what they were saying. And I started out, I was there, I was rebellious, young and wild, you could say. And I remember one of my first assignments at Ananda was in the kitchen at the retreat. And, I had a very good college education. I came to Ananda. I was full of energy. I just thought, now I can do so many things. And there I was washing dishes. And I washed dishes for a long time, mountains of dishes. And I thought, I want to do this. And I'm getting out of here. So then I did get out of there. I left. And that caused me so many trials and so much confusion and so much pain. Honestly, the pain was almost unbearable because I wasn't following Master. I was following my own whims and fancies. And it took me years to come back and say, and I could hear Master saying, "What are you doing? That's not what I want you to do. Go back to Ananda." And just think, if I had just stayed out there where I was, I wouldn't have been able to serve my guru's work. And so then I did come back, and I discovered that when I listened to Swamiji and I did whatever he asked me to do, even if I didn't know what to do, I didn't understand it, I didn't feel capable or whatever it was, I just did it. And then I start getting more and more in tune. And with that attunement, I felt more and more of Master's joy and his power and his strength. And I was able to do so many more things. And I remember Swamiji asking me to go and run a restaurant. I mean, small, like a cafe more. And I never did that. I said, sure, why not? I mean, it didn't last, but at least I did it. It was going down already. And then, to be able to teach, I didn't particularly feel like teaching. And then he said, now let's travel and you go and help people learn other languages. Let's go to foreign countries. And I just thought, wow, this is interesting. I didn't feel capable. I didn't want to do it. But I tried my best to align with what Swamiji said. And every time I did, I felt this is right. And I felt stronger in myself and more in attunement. So how do we tune in? Well, first of all, we have to ask. I'll have a conversation going all the time with Master. That's what I say. And my mantra these days, I don't know what yours is one or another, but mine is, Master, help me. And everything I do, Master, help me. If it's a talk, Master, help me. If I'm going to talk with somebody else, Master, help me. If it's a project, Master, help me. And I'll always be asking, is this what you want? Is this what you want from me? Is this the right thing? Is this the right person to talk to? Is this the right way to talk to them? Whatever it is. And certainly we make mistakes, but you try to get back in attunement. So the first is just have a continual conversation with the guru. And then secondly, be around. Come to satsangs, be serviceful, come do seva, be a part of the sangha, come to the kirtans, come to the kriyas, come to the reviews. You have to be around. Come to online, be in the home study, whatever it is. Come to the kriya program in the evenings, come to this, come Friday morning. But to be able to, you don't always get it yourself. Let me just put it that way clearly. The clear guidance yourself, you get it from a talk, you get it from the kriya, you get it from various things that are offered. And also listen to others who may be wiser than you. Maybe they've been around longer than you. Maybe you've been there a year. Maybe you've been there 3 years. But be open to guidance. And finally, to keep going and studying the teachings, read something every day, listen to the talks. I listen every day and I go, my God, I forgot that point. Oh, that's such an important point. What a beautiful story, on and on. And then you'll find that over time, it doesn't happen overnight, but over time, you get more and more aligned with the master. And you don't feel good when you don't have that alignment and attunement. I want to end, then we'll go into questions with this really fantastic passage from this book, Conversations with Yogananda. And this is number 254, Master's Words. First Swamiji. Vance Milligan was not yet legally of age when he came to Mount Washington. He left later in obedience to his mother's wishes. When he grew older, he came back and resumed his time there. But this time it was with his mother's sanction. It is good you have her permission, the master remarked to him. Without it, you should still have come, but it is better with it. Remember, you are God's child for eternity, not for this one lifetime only. When Swami Shankara was only a child, he felt inspired to leave home for God. His mother tried to dissuade him. Shankara, instead of pleading with her, jumped into a nearby river and let a crocodile catch him. See, mother, he cried, I will let the crocodile pull me under if you don't agree to my leaving home. Even at that young age, you see, he had spiritual power. Well, what could she do? Hastily, she gave her consent. Shankara then made the crocodile release him. He swam to shore and straightway began his historic mission. Om Shanti Shanti. Nitendra, how did you like that story?
Very encouraging, Dhyanaji. We should put a disclaimer, kids should not try this.
Really? Good. Okay, so we have some questions.
Yes, Dhyanaji, and we have a few live questions as well.
Wonderful.
First one, Dhyanaji, is how can we align ourselves with the divine will if we are seriously ill?
Yeah, this is an important question because when you're ill, your focus is on your body. But still, I mean, there's this beautiful story Master would tell of this man who was a diabetic, who was getting worse and worse. But he kept in his meditation saying, Lord, come into this broken temple. He just kept his mind as much as he could on God. At first, he wasn't able to sit for hardly any time. And then as he kept going, he was able to sit longer and longer and longer and longer. And then one day, this light filled his body, and he said, and he was healed. And he said, Lord, I didn't ask you to heal me, but just come into this broken temple. And the light said, where my light is, no darkness can be. And so even in your mind, as much as you can, I mean, if you're on medication or whatever, you just have to adjust, but as much as you can, think about God. I remember someone saying, oh, I saw Swamiji when they were passing away, and someone else saying, oh, I'm not dying, I've seen Master. So, and then someone said, when Swamiji said, this man said at the end of his life, he was on his deathbed, and he said, oh, I've done many wrongs. And Swamiji reported that to Master, and he said, he shouldn't have done that. He shouldn't have said that. Keep your mind on God. So no matter what's happening with the body, try the best way you can to keep your thoughts uplifted. And maybe have a picture, have the Om playing or some of Swamiji's music, or have someone reading to you to keep you uplifted.
Thank you, Dhyanaji. These practical tips really help.
Yeah.
So, Dhyanaji, when we get ill, is it God's will that people get ill, or is it our own fault?
It's interesting. Master said that you have the tendency towards different ailments from past lives. So you could have the tendency towards cancer or some other ailment. But it doesn't mean you'll get it. It just means the tendency is there. And I think for the most part, you just have to do the best you can. If there's karma, I know Swamiji, what I feel, Swamiji was working out other people's karma on his own body. Master surely did that, and all the masters did it. And but you just try to keep as healthy as you can, eat properly, exercise. I know a lot of people don't exercise and they're young. They think they'll exercise later. Well, that's a mistake. You've got to exercise now to be able to be fit enough to exercise later. Do what you can. And eat properly, be in good company. You just have to work at being healthy. You can't blame God for bad health. It's something in the past or something in this lifetime or a lack of proper paying attention to your body. So we're not just meditating all day. We have to be balanced in our life. So work at it as well. Work at it and ask Divine Mother to help you.
Thank you, Dhyanaji. The next question is a live question, Dhyanaji. So sometimes to suit our own lifestyle and our convenience, we say that our delusions are like divine will, as if I don't feel like waking up today, I'll say, "Oh, Master doesn't want me to wake up," or
That's funny.
so on. And especially in situations where our self-effort becomes difficult in adverse situations. So then we say that, oh, it's divine will, and then we give up. So how can we come out of that
I
delusion?
would say that's a complete cop out. And you have to be honest with yourself, honest with Master. Sincerity is a really important part of the path. Be sincere. If you didn't do it because you didn't want to do it, say I didn't do it because I didn't want to do it. Just feel like you're always answering to the guru. And you can sense inside if you've done something that's not right. You can sense his pleasure, you can sense when he's not pleased. And you don't like that feeling when he's not pleased. So if you've done something wrong, come out and say, Master, I didn't want to do it. I don't want to do it. Help me not to do it. But don't say, he said he made me do it. Master said that Divine Mother likes that, but not all the time to say Divine Mother did it, she did it. I would say, just get more spiritually mature. I mean, afterward, you have to pay back the karma at any rate, isn't it?
Mhm.
I
Absolutely.
think sincerity is something people don't think about very much, but it's very important on the path. If you're not sincere, if you're kind of hiding here and not telling the truth over there and wanting Divine Mother not to see this or that, that's not gonna be a happy life, really.
Thank you, Janaji. The next question is on the other extreme, Janaji. So if we follow everything that the guru or the divine says, then could that be thought of as slavery? And if we are a slave, then we can't be held accountable for our own actions.
I don't feel like I'm a slave at all. I mean, I've got a very strong will. And why is the will strong? Because it's aligned to the divine will. Try going off on your own. I tried it. That's why I'm so strongly on the path. It doesn't work. So, are you a slave? If you're on your own mind, you're a slave. Maybe you're a slave. Even without a guru, you can be thinking you're a slave. And I think that's mainly what people are. They don't really follow the divine will. But he's not saying being a slave. And I really think people need to be careful with their behavior. Be a master of your behavior, of yourself, and not do this, you're cheating over here and telling a lie over there or whatever. Just, you've got to get mature spiritually. And so I have a very strong will. And everybody, all people that I'm good friends with, they're very strong-willed. And so, but it's the right use of the will. So you can be strong-willed and run off a cliff. I'm strong-willed, and you can just have so many disasters in your life. People, I mean, you have to, once you have one or two of those things, disasters, then you aligned. So I say again, pain is a teacher. Once you have enough pain, different things you've tried that didn't work, people who betrayed you, and your finances are gone, and your health is gone, or whatever, then you start thinking about how you can align. So, but you have to take your own time with things. Nobody can force you to do it. Does that make sense, Natindra?
Absolutely, Janaji. So much has come out of this.
Yeah, and look at you. I mean, you're just one of the strongest willed people I know. And many of our center leaders is very strong people, but they're strong-willed in the right way, not strong-willed in delusion. I think that's the point.
Thank you, Janaji. One last question to close this session,
Mm.
Janaji. So, in what way do answers come to us when we pray to be in tune with the divine will? And how would I know that it is a true inner guidance rather than my own delusion?
Yeah, I understand that one. Master said, or rather Swamiji, to look at the spiritual eye, put your prayer, your thought out, feel in the heart. Is this right? Is that right? And then act. And one of the things I would act on for most people is ask. Master said Rajasi found God because he learned how to listen. So ask and then listen. And I think a lot of people want to fulfill their desires. So, oh, I felt Master told me to do exactly what I wanted to do. And like Swamiji said, people look at his picture and pray to him and say, Swamiji said, he's always smiling, and people take that smile to mean Master said, I can do it. But get some grounding in that. You can feel and then ask and then act. I mean, take the first step in that direction that you feel. Does that feel like the right direction? And then take another step. But I would take those steps holding somebody else's hand who's been around much longer than you. You understand what I'm saying? I wouldn't just take the steps alone. It's difficult to make right choices. It's difficult to make right decisions. It's difficult to get in tune. It's difficult to stay in tune. It's not easy. So if you say, no, I know, I've been around long enough, I wouldn't ever say that. I'm always getting help, always getting advice, always talking to my peers, always asking for those who've been around longer than me. I'm always asking for it, always. So as soon as you say, I know it all, I've been here for 10 years, I think you're going to have a lot of problems. And so, yes, do the practices. Yes, do the technique of looking and asking and sensing, is this right? Is that right? Yes, take action. For example, when I moved to Mumbai to help there some years back, I asked 10 of my peers. And that was always also feeling in my own heart. Is this crazy? Is this the right thing? What do you think? I didn't say, I feel inspired to move to Mumbai. No, I asked people. So don't feel like you know it all. You don't. Unless you're already liberated, you need a lot of help along the way. Okay, thank you, Natindra. Thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful day. God bless you. Bye-bye. Yes.